It's 2:45 p.m. Your brain feels like mush. You're stuck in an important meeting where you have to make critical decisions, and your team is presenting all the facts and figures, all the information you need to make important decisions on the future of your company. Oh, but your brain, it's not working well. What's going on? You struggle to recall what they're saying. You struggle to follow and pay attention. You're doing everything right. You exercise, you eat well, you have a sleep routine, you even do mindfulness meditation, but yet somehow every afternoon your brain is not 100%. At best, it's 70, 80%, and you wonder what's going on. Give me the next 5 minutes. I'm going to give you the solution to fix this afternoon brain performance drop, and I'll tell you what is really going on to help empower you to make better quality decisions about your health and performance. Hi, my name is Stephen Koh, Executive Health Coach with Executive Warrior Academy, where we help ambitious leaders from all over the world reignite their energy and focus so they can become unstoppable at work and in life. I share regular videos that are designed to help you tap into your superhuman potential. So what's going on? It's brain energy. The reality is your brain is designed to burn two types of fuel, glucose and ketones. Unfortunately, majority of us are brought up and trained to only burn glucose for energy because of the food we eat, right? We're very carbohydrate focused. And that means your brain, even though it can burn fat to produce ketones and power it for a long time and power it really well, it's lost that ability. Every afternoon, your glucose drops slightly, and that is often enough to force your brain to say, I need to conserve energy because I only know how to burn glucose. I only have glucose. So glucose is low, let's give this guy brain fog, right? And that's what happened. That's why our brain isn't ticking well. You could be doing everything right, but if you don't fix this fundamental issue of brain energy metabolism, you will still struggle because it's natural for your blood sugar to go a little bit lower. Now, however, if you develop this metabolic flexibility and you have the ability to burn ketones for energy to produce ketones yourself, what happens is when your blood sugar goes low, you go, boom, let's switch over. Let's burn ketone. I've got plenty of ketones because ketone come from fat, and I've got a ton of fat to burn, right? And that's how your brain can stay 100% all day long, while the rest of people who rely on glucose, they get a dip. You don't get a dip if you learn how to burn fat to produce ketone. Now, over the long term, that requires some significant changes to life. But what do you do? What can you do today, right? If you want that performance, instead of making ketones yourself, here's what you can do. You can drink it. Exogenous ketones. Exogenous is just a fancy term to explain this is something that we take in rather than producing internally, right? So exogenous ketones, there's three main forms. When you look for exogenous ketone product on the market, there's the first generation, which is usually the ketone salt. So it's ketone beta hydroxybutyrate that's bound to some kind of salt, like a potassium, a sodium, calcium of that type. So there's different types. Now, the problem with that is it can produce potentially electrolyte imbalance. It might give you too much sodium. So a lot of the cheaper exogenous ketones are usually your ketone salt. So I don't like that because I don't like to disrupt my electrolytes, which is really, really important. I don't want to accidentally have just way too much sodium because I just want the energy. All I want is beta hydroxybutyrate. I don't want the salts, right? So then there's your option number 2, which is ketone esters. Now, ketone esters is really effective without the mineral concerns, right? The salt that's bound doesn't disrupt your electrolyte balance. However, tastes like garbage, tastes like gasoline. In fact, it leaves such a weird, strange taste in your mouth. It really just, you can't get it out of your mouth. So that's why I don't like that either. And third is what I recommend for my clients and what I use for myself is ketone dials. So ketone dial that I use is called Ketone IQ. Now, if you're interested, look it up. But this is what I give to my client to get them started. What that means is when you drink ketone dial, it gives you that boost in energy. So your brain is able to switch over and just use the ketone because it knows it's there. You're not producing yourself, but it knows it's there. So you don't get that dip in energy, but it doesn't require this drastic changes to your lifestyle or what you eat, right? So ketone dial is my preferred form because it tastes better. It has smooth, stable energy that lasts and lasts and lasts. And that's exactly what we want. Now, on the long term, you should work on your metabolic flexibility because we need to perform even if we don't have these drinks. We don't want to create another crutch for ourselves. when you develop metabolic flexibility to be able to burn your own fat to produce ketones, you're not relying on drinking ketone. It means that you boosting your baseline. And that is what true performance look like. If you want my exact step-by-step protocol that I use to help my client develop metabolic flexibility so they don't get this dip in energy every afternoon, have energy to last all day, every day, drop the line energy below. I'll send you my guide. No emails required. Just for watching this video. Take care.